Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about the brand new official scene that we actually have here for the Walking Dead Dead City episode 1. And it's something that is super exciting, honestly. Like, after watching this scene, it really made me super excited to watch the Walking Dead Dead City episode 1. Like, I just cannot wait to actually watch the first episode. And yeah, this scene here is a scene from this episode. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below actually if you do want to check out the scene. The Walking Dead just posted it, so definitely go and check it out. But yeah, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get my breakdown of tomorrow's episode of the season 2 premiere. I'm so excited that The Walking Dead is back, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. So the scene begins with Negan, the Croat, the Dama. You actually do see the new character that's going to be introduced in this episode, Bruegel, who is going to be a leader of another group that will be joining the Dama and the Croat. And so, yeah, we're seeing, I guess, all of them meet here. And it seems like what's happening based off of what Negan said here is that everyone wants methane from, I guess, them. Like, that's exactly what they have. They have methane, and the Dama and the Croat are now aware that New Babylon wants that. And so now they're like, well, we're going to need a lot more communities here. We're going to need everybody here to sort of, I guess, join together to be able to, you know, stop them from coming after us. And so that seems to be what the story is going to be here for episode 1. And so, yeah, Negan is going to be the one that, I guess, gets everyone together here, right? He's going to be the enforcer and be the one that, you know, gets everyone to, I guess, join together. And I think that they are going to at first, though I don't necessarily trust Bruegel. I think that there's going to be a lot more there that happens here. And maybe there's deals that he makes with New Babylon that just sort of, you know, hurts everyone. I'm not sure. I don't know where the story could go there, but I'm interested in that aspect to it. But it's hard to say based off of a lot of the scenes that we have from the character, because I don't know how the character is, right? Like, we don't know how the character really talks in general, what his demeanor is like. So I think, you know, once we actually see a lot more scenes with him, we'll be able to know a little bit more, or at least it'll be easier to guess where things could go, right? But we do see Negan here, and he's actually giving a speech, and it's really incredible. Honestly, I think this is one of the perfect scenes to show someone. If, like, you haven't watched The Walking Dead in a while and you're like, you know, you want your friend to start watching the show or something like that, show them this scene, because this is really incredible. And I think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the character is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, he just has it. Like, he just still, I mean, it's just something with the character, and when he has Lucille and the jacket, like, it just, he becomes that persona, right? He becomes that person. And it's really incredible to actually see here. And what's cool about this is we all know what he's able to do, right? Like, we all know the power of Negan, right? And he says power equals power, and he kind of points at himself, which is, I mean, he points at the bat, but it's basically him, right? And everyone is listening here. And I like the way that the scene is structured, because at first, everyone's like, I'm not really listening. Like, I don't know why we're all here kind of thing. But based off of what he shows here to everybody, like, they all do listen here. And I do wonder what actually happens in the very beginning here. If maybe, you know, when he's first trying to talk to everyone here, no one's listening, because maybe, I don't know, it depends on how he does everything here, but it seems like no one's listening here, and he does apologize. Like, he actually says, like, I apologize, you know, like, maybe I just sort of, you know, maybe it was my fault. And so he goes into his whole speech, and he says, you know, I think that there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding here. You know, I don't want everyone to join me just because we want to make the world a whole better place. You know, I don't really care about that. Like, no, I want you all to join me because that's what I'm saying you have to do. And I think just saying that right there is like, oh man, he's back. And the fact that he has Lucille here, and the character actually that looks a lot like Rick Grimes, I will say, it's kind of hilarious. He does stand up to him, but I do like the way the scene plays out here. So the line, like, you know, I guess you're in for a bit of a shock. He says it later on, and it's more of a joke because of what happened to the character that looks a lot like Rick Grimes, right? Like, he's saying it as a joke, and I do like that, because I think the way it's sort of shown in the trailer, he's saying it as he, like, shocks that one character, right? And so it could be a little cringy the way that it does play out. It could work. It all really depends on the timing, but I like the way that it happens here, because he's sort of swinging the bat around. That one character is like, don't swing that in my face kind of thing, right? He gets really upset. And so he tries to push it away, but then he gets shocked, right? And then everyone is just like absolutely upset about that, and everyone tries to fight back. But then the flamethrowers, right? And I will just say, very cool shot here of Negan in the middle with all the flamethrowers going on here. Like, for filming, that really must have been insane. Like, I think about for concerts and stuff, like they do have flames and all that. So it's not like that's not normal, right? Like that does happen a lot. But I imagine for filming this here, that must have been crazy to actually like do all of that one day, right? Like if you actually look at where Jeffrey Dean Morgan is standing, he's almost standing like right on that square there, like on the stage. And so I wonder if that is where he was supposed to stand. Like the flamethrowers were going to go off, but he has to stand like right there and everything will be fine, right? Like that must be something that they actually did here in the scene, but I don't know for sure. But you do see Kim Coates though, well not Kim Coates, but Bruegel, I guess, reacting to the whole thing here, and he actually seems kind of scared. So that is kind of the cool thing about it, is that he does seem like kind of scared about, you know, the whole situation here, and he is listening to Negan, right? And so I know at some point here he is gonna like smile and probably laugh about the whole thing. Like I think he's gonna be honestly blown away by the whole situation and be like, yeah, you know what, we have to join them there. And we do see the Dama, you know, she's very happy about how this is playing out here, because I think she can sort of sense it in the room as well. Like after all that just happened here, like everyone is now listening, and the Croat is just very, very happy. I think the Croat reacting like that, I mean, it's the Croat. I guess he's going to react that way. But like, if you're trying to show off here, if you're trying to demonstrate that you have a lot of power, I think that that's not the right reaction that you should have. You should be very serious and tough, right? And that's what Negan is doing here. The Croat reacting that way is just, I mean, you're just going to have to kind of ignore that, right? But I think his speech here when he goes into power equals power. And so if you ain't with us, I guess you're in for a bit of a shock and sort of, I mean, yeah, we saw that here in this scene, right? And so he does say, like, the scene actually ends here with him saying, like, you know, think about it, basically. And so I think that that's what's going to be happening here, is the groups are going to be talking about it afterwards. Like, do we join them? I mean, I guess we're going to have to, right? And I think if there are some groups that are like, I'm not too sure, I think showing off the fact that Radio City Music Hall is going to actually have some power is going to really, I think, you know, make them all be like, all right, yeah, I think we should join them, right? I think that's why this one shot of Bruegel, like looking up here, he does kind of smile here in this scene. I think that's probably what that's going to be, right? I think he's going to react to the fact that, oh, wow, you know what? They kind of have it all. And he does mention in the trailer that he's not a big fan of mainlanders, you know, going to the island here and I guess coming after them for methane. So I think that, yeah, he is going to join them, obviously. I think that this whole show that Negan put on here is honestly going to make them all join them. And I'm honestly just, I can't wait to watch this first episode. I really cannot wait to watch it and just see where the story builds to here, because we've known about this story for quite some time now. Now it's time to finally watch the show and actually see what happens and just see where the story goes here. And I think Bruegel, just based off of this scene, seems very cool, but kind of hard to say because obviously we haven't seen him actually talk or anything like that. And remember, there's a lot more to this. Like, this is going to happen at some point, I feel like later in episode 1. But there's a lot beforehand with, you know, Negan getting the jacket and getting the bat and becoming, you know, that character. And like, obviously he's trying to like fight back against it because he doesn't want to be that person anymore. And so there's a lot of stuff that we're missing here, but just this scene here, from what we're seeing here, based off of the reaction to the scene, honestly, everyone is absolutely excited to see Dead City Season 2 tomorrow, and I really cannot wait. And so overall, I think a really incredible scene to release here before episode 1. I do like the fact that they are doing this because I think that, you know, back in the day, that's what we used to get all the time, right? Was all of these scenes before the episode actually aired. But the way I would do it personally is you release a trailer for the next episode the night that, I guess the episode airs. And so afterwards, like on cable, release a trailer for episode 2. And then the day after that, or maybe on the Wednesday, release the opening minutes. And then maybe the Friday or Saturday release like a scene from the next episode, right? Like they used to do that like that a lot. I'm pretty sure that was almost the exact schedule. And I think that's perfect because you sort of spread out the amount of like new scenes and all of that are happening. Maybe in between that, there's other interviews or just other things that you're able to do overall, right? But like, don't wait to release the trailer or like the opening scene and all that until like the day before the show premieres on the Saturday, because a lot of people aren't seeing that on the Saturday. You know, a lot of people have plans and they're out doing, you know, a bunch of stuff on the weekend. So I think, yeah, do it during the week, build up that hype because people are going to be excited for Sunday after the whole weekend to sort of sit back and relax and watch the latest episode of The Walking Dead Dead City. And I cannot wait for this. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.